Welcome to the channel, everyone. Today we're going back to school, which is kind of an ironic statement because what I'm covering today is not taught in schools at all. And of course, it's the topic of financial education. And there are a ton of topics that fall under the category of financial education. And I'm just going to cover a few that I feel are must-knows for anyone that wants to get a hold of their financial situation and learn about money. The first topic is one that's very misunderstood, and that's compound interest. You may have heard people mention it before, or maybe you even read about it in a book or saw it in an article. But today I'm going to simplify it so you know exactly what it is and how it works. So typically there are two categories of interest when it comes to accumulation, and that's simple interest and compound interest. I believe it's a lot easier to learn how compound interest works when you are looking at it in comparison to simple interest. So here's an example of simple interest right here. So on this chart, you can see we have the year, the principal, the interest rate, the interest earned, and the balance. So this example is assuming you put in $1,000 one time and that's all. So in year one, you make 10% on that $1,000, which is $100. And that brings your balance to $1,100. Then in year two, you'll make another 10% on that original $1,000, which is another $100, bringing your balance to $1,200. And the same thing happens for year three, another 10% on that $1,000, which is another $100, and now your balance at the end of 3 years is $1,300. So that's how simple interest works. You're going to continue to earn interest on that original amount you invested, and that's all. Now, when it comes to compound interest, it's a little different because in year one, you see you have that same $1,000, you make 10%, which is $100, and your balance is $1,100. Now, in year two, you'll still earn 10% on that original $1,000 that you invested, but you'll also earn 10% on that $100 that you earned the previous year. Meaning now you're earning interest on $1,100 for the second year. So that's why the interest earned is $110, which brings your balance to $1,210. Then in year three, still 10% on the original $1,000, plus 10% on that $110, and another 10% on the $100, which means you earn $121 interest that year. So now you can see your balance is $1,331. So just from these 3 years, you can see where it's a difference when it comes to the compound interest. Now this compounding interest happens every year after year. So compound interest is literally your interest earning interest on top of interest over and over and over. So let me show you how much of a difference compound interest can make when we run this example for 30 years out. At the bottom, you can see that the simple interest would have grown from $1,000 to $4,000, but your compound interest would have grown to $17,449.40, which is a massive difference. And here's a chart that shows you how compound interest really starts to take off over time. So you can obviously see why so many people are always trying to get compound interest on their money. Next, I want to go over a money concept that goes hand in hand with compound interest. And this concept is called the rule of 72. This concept is extremely important because it gives the everyday person a simple way to measure the growth of compounded money. I mean, you can always use a compound interest calculator, but this formula is something that you can do on the fly. So here's how it works. So when doing this calculation, you want to take the interest rate that you're earning and divide it into the number 72. For example, if we take a look at each one of these color sections, you can see that each section is actually earning a different interest rate. So here in the blue section, you can see that the interest rate is 1%. So what you'll do is take 1 and divide it into 72. And the answer that you come up with tells you an approximate amount of years it'll take for that money to double. So 1 divided into 72 is 72. So if someone's earning 1% on their money's going to double every 72 years. So here we're looking at an individual that's 29 years old and they invested $10,000. And since they're earning 1% on their money, it's expected that their money will double to $20,000 by the age of 101. And as bad as that may look to you, you have to understand that most people have their money parked in the bank, not even earning 1% at all. So that means a double probably won't happen in their lifetime. Now, if we look at the gray area, you can see an example of the same person earning 10% on their money. 10 divided into 72 is 7.2. That means their money will double around every 7 years. So you can see that same $10,000 with more doubles would have grown to around $640,000 by age 72, which is a day and night difference. Now, it's also important to understand that these numbers can work for you or they can work against you. Now, let's say you have a credit card that's charged you 25%. That means your debt will literally double every 2 to 3 years. That's why it's so important to always pay attention to the interest rate that you're earning on your money and the interest rate that you're paying on your debt. So those are just a few financial concepts I wanted to share with you guys today. I know there are many more. I'll make more videos on different topics, but take these, study them, rewatch the video if you need to, because these are things that should have been taught in school, but unfortunately they weren't. So maybe you're learning it for the first time here. Either way, at least you know now. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel and drop a comment about a specific topic you may want me to cover in the future. And I'll see you guys in this next video.